Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Van Taylor Stadium on the campus of Lander University for tonight's non-conference men's soccer contest between the West Alabama Tigers and your Lander University Bearcats. At this time, let's choose the starters for tonight's contest. First, our visitors, the West Alabama Tigers. In goal, number 00, Austin Salazar. Number 2, Kyron Mall. Number 4, Luca Wykers. Number 6, Adam Zayed. Number 8, Harrison Roberts. Number 9, Ali Brador. Number 13, Kyle McLeod. Number 15, Jared Walker. Number 17, Callum Rye. Number 20, Raheem Ali. And number 25, Cole Webster. Tigers are coached by Matthew Thorne, assisted by Ross Nelson. And now, the starting lineup for your Lander University Bearcats. Tonight, the Bearcats are escorted by the Toros Little League soccer team. In goal for the Bearcats, a freshman from North Augusta, South Carolina, number 23, Jacob Withers. A junior from Basingstoke, England, number 2, George Knight. A senior from Enfield, England, number 3, Richard Bryan. A senior from Newcastle, England, number 4, Jordan Skelton. A sophomore from Hamilton, Scotland, number 6, Kyle Ferguson. A senior from Norfolk, England, number 8, Jamie North. A senior from PT, Sweden, number 18, Sia Jamadar. A senior from Basildon, England, number 20, Tyler Bolton. A junior from Brussels, Belgium, number 26, Bryce Valle. A sophomore from Stockholm, Sweden, number 33, Daniel Sonnerstedt. And a junior from Southampton, England, number 34, Oakley Hanger. The Bearcats are coached by Lee Squires, assisted by Matty Evans and Rob Seaton. Well, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please rise, Joe, move your hats, as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and we welcome you into Greenwood, South Carolina, in the Jeff May Complex and Lander Bearcats Soccer on the Bearcat Broadcasting Network. Hi, everyone. Rickson Lane and Graham Simpson joining you tonight. The Lander men's soccer team, ranked 10th in the nation, they step out of Peach Belt Conference play and Monday Night Football here in Greenwood as the Bearcats take on the Tigers of West Alabama. Graham, these two teams both last year were one win away from playing for the right to go to Kansas City, Missouri, and the College Cup. Lander lost in the Southeast Region Final to Young Harris. These West Alabama Tigers lost to Lynn, the eventual South champions. These are two very good programs going at it tonight.
Yeah, it should be a very interesting match. It's going to be all about the start here. I expect the Bearcats to be flying 100 miles an hour. They're ready for this one. 5 o'clock start. Just a great atmosphere out here. We got a lot of fans coming out.
And the Bearcats just happy to be back here at Van Taylor Stadium. They've played 3 matches away from home. It's the first long ball sent down, and Lander will have the throw in. This Bearcat club under the direction of head coach Lee Squires, 7-0-1 on the year. The lone blemish on the record, a draw on the road last week and a driving rain against the Queens Royals up in Charlotte, North Carolina, as West Alabama wins the ball down in the corner.
A nice shield there by the corner.
Got George Knight kind of rung up there as a throw-in will go to West Alabama. We'll give you the starters now. First for the visiting Tigers, they're under the direction of head coach Matthew Thorne. Austin Salazar, the senior from Gary, Indiana, in goal tonight for the Tigers. Luca Weikers, the grad student from Hamburg, Germany, on the back line. He'll be joined on the back end by Jared Walker, a freshman from Birmingham, Alabama. The midfielders, Kieran Mall, a junior from Houston, Scotland. Also Adam Zayed, a grad student from Dublin, Ireland. Harrison Roberts, a grad student from Runcorn, England, in the middle as well. Hakeem Ali, the junior from Tuskegee, Alabama, rounds out the midfield. The forwards for the Tigers tonight, Ali Brodeur, grad student out of Ronchen, France. Also Kyle McLeod, sophomore from Montrose, Scotland. And Cole Webster, sophomore out of Prattville, Alabama.
A lot of pace on the wings, seeing early here for West Alabama. Something that could cause the Bearcats a little trouble. Just something they need to adapt. Every team's a little different.
For the Bearcats tonight, Jacob Withers gets the starting goal, his 4th career start. He's a freshman from North Augusta, South Carolina, and the newly minted Peach Belt Conference Goalkeeper of the Week. The defenders for the Bearcats, George Knight, who we've already seen, although he'll play more of an attacking role, the junior from Basingstoke, England. The heart of that defense is Richard Bryan, the senior from Enfield, England, Jordan Skelton, the senior from Newcastle, England, and Kyle Ferguson, a sophomore from Hamilton, Scotland. He is your conference defender of the week, as announced a couple hours ago. In the midfield, Jamie North, the 5th-year senior from Norfolk, England, as the Bearcats try to make a run here on the far side. Sia Jamadar, the senior from Patia, Sweden, in the middle of the lineup as well, along with Tyler Bolton, the senior out of Basildon, England. Daniel Sonnerstadt, the sophomore from Stockholm, Sweden, also in the midfield. Oakley Hanger will be in the middle. He's the junior from Southampton. Sonnerstadt in the starting lineup. He'll be on the defense. And the top of the formation for Lee Squires will be Bryce Baye, the junior from Brussels, Belgium.
George Knight listed as a defender, which is not at all the case. He's playing more of a false 9 position for this one, seeing early on, getting behind the attacking front here.
We saw Baye being held on the near side, and then Knight with the aggressive tackle, and then Baye knocked out of play. And boy, early on, some physical play from both sides, and not a lot of whistles to show for it. Looks like the officials going to let some stuff go here this evening as that ball chipped ahead to the keeper, Salazar.
No red cards on the season for the Bearcats to keep the streak alive. And not many yellow cards in conference think it was 27 out, but there's no foul called here.
A late one on Sonnerstedt. Drawing the contact was Kyle McLeod. Bearcats have not been carded much in league play. However, they do lead the league in yellow cards. Aggressive and physical club for Coach Squires. Fifth minute of action here, opening period between Lander and West Alabama. The Bearcats come into this matchup with a number 10 national ranking. These two teams, as we mentioned, they played on the same field down in Florida last year on the same day, but not against one another in the South and Southeast region championships. Both came up one match shy of the ultimate goal of Kansas City. Early corner kick on the way for the Bearcats here in minute number 6.
Early set piece. Lander really needs to just get ahead on it, on target. Just ask a little bit of questions to the West Alabama defense.
Looks like it'll be Jamie North who will handle it. Oliver Brock, typically the man who takes the corners, but North, the redshirt senior, will deliver this ball. He'll curl it to the far post, and a leaping grab made by Salazar. There were Bearcats in the area. Lander has been so good in recent years on those set pieces, particularly the corner kicks, but Salazar thwarts the attempt there.
Not sure what the whistle's on.
Justin, it was LJ supposed to be here tonight, right? Yes. Okay. Yeah, he was supposed to. Withers will send it away. Bearcats, an interesting goalkeeping situation. They are sitting atop the conference leaderboard in terms of goals allowed by a starting keeper, and Lander ranks number 1 and number 2 in the league. Jose Eduardo Bonfim, the opening night starter, surrendered 3 goals this year in 5 starts. He's second in the league now because Jacob Withers has come on and has not surrendered a goal yet in his career. And this is his 4th start of his freshman campaign.
That's a very impressive stat line there to start his campaign here at Lander. But we've had very good goalkeepers throughout the year, especially since Lee Squires has been the reign of head coach. And also had a very solid back line.
Yeah, Lander's really prided itself on defense in recent seasons, and you're right, you talk about that run of keepers. I mean, Dean Caldroy last year, who set the Peach Belt record for Goalkeeper of the Week awards in a single season, and by the end of the year, he was giving way to Alexander Holbo, who is on the roster right now, but we haven't seen him this year because 2 freshmen have come in and taken all the minutes in goal for Lander with Bonfim and Withers. The ball sent away. And then, of course, you mention all those names and you forget about what a great run Barrett Nielsen had here in Greenwood, as he was here at the end of Van Taylor's tenure as head coach and Coach Squires' initial season. The Bearcats the free kick in the 9th minute. No score thus far between Lander and West Alabama.
Thibaut Chrétien on the bench. Nice to see him in some socks and guards.
Knight fires that one well high. Ball rolled right to his feet. Just chipped it far too high over the crossbar. And Chrétien, who missed the good majority of the opening month, some injury problems. He's made his way back in the rotation here in recent games, and certainly expect you'll see him at some point tonight, but Lee Squires has kept him out of the starting 11 as there's going to be a foul as a leaping shove from Ali Brodeur, graduate forward out of France. It's an obvious whistle, and Lander will take the free kick.
Lander not afraid to play it back to the keeper and reset. It's worked out so far this year. Just keeping very calm. Jordan Skelton with the ball. Knows the time, knows exactly what to do.
Oh, that's a beauty of a ball. Cross pitch, and Knight will run it down in the corner. And now Knight trying to wiggle his way out of danger, and he did so for a moment on the end line. Tigers collapse on him. He'll send it out to Bryan. Bryan will deliver it in, and punched away by Salazar, and Jamie North puts his hands above his head and collapses. The Bearcats will have another corner opportunity.
Again, started off by Jordan Skelton with the knowledge of the pass. Great ball. Pretty much half the length of the field there. And then the quote-unquote defender, George Knight, with a little bit of skill getting around the defender.
Able to free himself from danger in that corner as now North will send it in. Punched out high. Salazar got that one clean. Ball fought for in the corner. Like Baye came away with it. Now he wants to lob it in. There's a head opportunity, but wide. Oh, that was Lander's best chance of the afternoon thus far, and that was Oakley Hanger, the defender, in the 11th minute, just skewed that one wide of the post, and we remain scoreless.
Looks like Coach Squires giving George Knight a lot of freedom to move around. We just saw him on the left side. We've seen him on the right. He's getting him behind runs.
Now, Hanger was calling for it on the near side. Instead, Skelton sent it left. Sonnerstadt controls it. And now Bryan going to send it deep for Knight. Boy, the passing of these Lander defenders early on has been very impressive, but that ball out of play, throw into the Tigers.
You'll rarely see the Bearcats go through the middle. It's always around the sides or over the top. Very hard to defend against, especially when you execute it as well as the Bearcats do.
Knight trying to win it. Near side, Tigers clear it away. Brodeur wins the header. And then Skelton, I believe, will be called for the foul. It's Brodeur, who gave a foul earlier in the match, now draws one, and there'll be a free kick for West Alabama.
First goal kick for the Bearcats.
Withers will direct traffic down the pitch. 14th minute of play, first half of action. Lander in West Alabama, scoreless here at Van Taylor Stadium. Header one. Now Brodeur sends it ahead. Now you see the skill of these Tigers as they quickly operate down the pitch. Now trying to wait and set up an offensive attack here. Bryan with the sliding effort. Ball sent on, headed. Now it looks like we'll have a whistle, and it looks like this is going to go Lander's way. Boy, dangerous there as West Alabama had a lot of bodies in the box.
At first, the sideline referee was signaling for a corner.
He was. That's why I was a little confused why everyone was making their way to the other end of the pitch when the corner signal was indicated. But it'll be a goal kick for the Bearcats now, so not quite sure what the issue there was. And a whistle on a foul against Sia Jamadar.
Whistle being blown a lot more last 5 minutes than it was the first 10.
Yeah, it's really changed.
Yes. Early
on, you saw bodies flying everywhere, and you thought this thing was going to take on the look of a wrestling match almost. And that's a nice interception by Lander, and we're going to have a card here, I believe. In the 16th minute, it looks like Harrison Roberts will be the guilty party for West Alabama. Had the pass stolen from him by North and then just reached out and yanked North down by the back of the jersey.
That's number 8, Harrison Roberts.
I don't blame him with the speed of Jamie North there.
Honestly, not a terrible foul. You wish you could avoid getting a booking there, but the alternative is a breakaway for North, and he had some teammates that were sprinting down the field to join him.
Have to capitalize. Have to ask some questions of the Tiger defense. It's a nice ball, and again, 3 straight set pieces. Salazar getting a hand to it. It cannot happen.
Salazar has been very aggressive to come out and try to chase the ball and clear it away from danger as that one's sent out for a Tiger throw-in.
Lander throw in.
That one finds its way into the trees. The Bearcats, we mentioned it's 7-0-1. Had some problems on the offensive end. Haven't put up huge numbers here in their most recent matches, aside from the 7-0 drubbing of Shaw in their last home match and the road trip that they took in 3 road contests. They only scored 2 goals, a 1-0 win over Francis Marion and a 1-0 win over USC Aiken, sandwiched around a draw, a scoreless draw with the Queens Royals. But it's been their defense that has been garnering all the headlines as they've now shut out 5 consecutive opponents. It doesn't matter what your offense looks like. Hard to lose when you never concede a goal. Bearcats trying to get it on the board here in the first period. Got opportunities, and here's another one. All chipped into the center, but cleared out. That looked like it was Weichers. They came and got a piece of it.
It's a nice stop of a counterattack.
Knight's got some time to turn and look, and he'll send it near side to Hanger, who gives it right back. In the center of the pitch, Jamadar plays it left side, Brian.
Tigers giving the Bearcats a lot of time in the middle of the pitch. That's interesting to see. Bearcats, they have not scored the majority of their goals at all through the center.
Well, it's interesting you mentioned that because that philosophy in that case, Graham, seemed to work as they had the ball about a third of the way down the West Alabama end of the pitch, and West Alabama just kind of sat back defensively, and it chased them all the way back out to where Withers had the ball at his feet, the other goal. Nice attempt there by North to free some space up, and then Hanger whistled. Looked like McLeod lost his footing a little bit, and Hanger came over the top of him.
Yeah, Knight had the ball at the Lander half, the Tiger half of the middle circle, and there was about 8 Tigers behind the ball, So taking a very defensive approach when Lander get the ball in the second third of the pitch.
It's Kieran Mall, junior from Scotland, will deliver the free kick as he sends it to the far end of the box. Not a lot of red jerseys in that area. And the ball headed away. Now Baye operating by himself as he had 4 Tiger defenders surrounding him. And the ball won back to West Alabama as Mall will take it back and send it into the middle. Oh, nearly a dangerous mistake there as Walker recovers to send that ball back to Salazar. Baye was lurking if that one had gotten away from him. Tigers swing it left to right. Now operating on the far side of the pitch. Long pass ahead, but over the intended targets of Baye and Knight. Skelton will shield that one away. Back it goes to Withers. Withers' pass intercepted.
Little mistakes like that could lead to chances for the Tiger offense.
Hanger trying to prevent an opportunity. A nice touch pass to the near side. Into the center it goes. Knocked free. Scramble forward in the corner. And the ball rolled into the side of the net. But deflected off of Lander, and that's a corner kick for West Alabama. 21st minute of action, and the Tigers now with their best scoring opportunity of this first half. It looks like they'll send number 13 McLeod into the corner. There's also another Tiger down there. Can't quite get the number. It's Harrison Roberts who sends it in. The ball clean across the goal and out of play. Roberts with a nice entry.
He's offside.
So it would not have mattered.
Lander, a team that puts up a lot of shots. Not many here to speak of so far in this one, to give credit to the West Alabama defense.
Bearcats averaging nearly 17 per outing. That number has gone down here in the last 3 matches. We mentioned that road trip where the offense had to fight through some things. 9 shot attempts against Francis Marion, a season low 6 against Queens, and then 12 against USC Aiken. The 6 shot attempts against Queens, the fewest of the season and the lowest output for Lander since they attempted 5 shots in the NCAA tournament opener last year, a 1-0 win against Lincoln Memorial. Push right side, but nobody home. Tigers will come away with it, and Hanger hit from behind by Brodeur. Brodeur doesn't like it. I think he's going to get a card here. Ali Brodeur, as you see the official, says he went in with his forearm and
Yellow card says to West Alabama.
was up around the head and neck area of Hanger when he made contact. So Brodeur carded in the 23rd minute, and now North's going to get a chance at a free kick. Good to have you with us tonight on the Bearcat Broadcasting Network. Rickson Lane and Graham Simpson with you. 23rd minute of play. Lander with another opportunity.
Coach Matthew Thorne was just giving the sideline ref an earful for that one. I'm not sure what he was talking about. Maybe an instance up here with the miscommunication about the offside.
Salazar can't handle that one cleanly. The Tigers clear it away.
Here's another chance.
And Brian will try again. Headed on. Salazar able to tiptoe the end line and keep it in play, and then hurls it outside to McLeod. Skelton, a late whistle against him. I was about to say a clean tackle, but it was not, according to our official. Foul against the Bearcats.
He almost swallowed his whistle first 5 minutes of the game. It's been about eight penalties now in the last 15 minutes, including offside.
Minute 24 in the first half, no score, Lander, West Alabama. Now the Tigers get ahead of the Bearcat defense, and here they come on the offensive attack. Ball sent in the middle, and a nice sliding tackle made. It looks like it was Bolton who got in front of it. Some miscommunication on the back end by Lander, and another corner for the Tigers.
Seemed like Richard Bryan thought the ball was going out, stayed in play, had to fight his way back. Eventually allowing the ball to get into the 18. There's a corner kick here. Have to clear this away quick. No second opportunities. It's a dangerous ball. Back post.
Deep, and then ricocheting the shot, and Withers got a piece of it, and the flag, I think, went up. A flag or a foul. Withers did.
I think it was a jersey tug.
West Alabama unable to take advantage of that attempt. But Withers was kind of at the mercy of wherever that shot was going to go, point-blank range, and one that ricocheted right off of him. And then the whistle blew either right before that shot or right after it. And Lander dodges disaster here in minute 25. Verdor and Bolton fight for the ball, and now Jamadar wanted to send it ahead tonight, but too strong.
Salazar, one of the more fearless keepers you'll ever come against.
Senior out of Gary, Indiana.
You can already tell by the way he's playing. He looks very polished, very experienced as a goalkeeper.
Despite his experienced-looking play from tonight, really not many starts for West Alabama. He is in goal tonight for the Tigers on the season. This is actually, as I look at it, his first start of the year. It's only his, I believe, third start ever for West Alabama. However, he did help lead Ancilla College out of Indiana to a National Junior College National Tournament appearance and a region title in 2016. So experience at the college level, but not really a lot of caps for him as a member of West Alabama. Again, his third career start for the Tigers in 2 years.
He is playing very aggressive, which means there are mistakes to be made, kind of like a slashing point guard. There are assists, but there are lots of turnovers.
It's much harder to make up for those mistakes as a soccer keeper than as a basketball player.
Yeah.
There's really not an equivalent of being able to score 30 points if you give up 20 defensively. That ball out of play. The Tigers will take it. Minute 28 here between Lander and West Alabama. Non-conference match here on a Monday night. Good to have you with us on the Bearcat Broadcasting Network. Rickson Lane and Graham Simpson joining you from Van Taylor Stadium. Jamadar arranging over in the middle. Bearcats about to make wholesale substitutions at the next opportunity. And here they come.
Coming in for the Bearcats, number 7, Oliver Brock. Number 9, Joe Conway. Number 12, Sinclair Sandy. Number 16, Robbie Young. And number 19, Thibaut Chrétien.
So Oliver Brock, Sinclair Sandy, Robbie Young, and Thibaut Chrétien will all come into the match now. As Lander will bring in some fresh legs as we move into minute 29 in the opening period.
Those are household names for the Bearcats. See what they can make happen here. Break the deadlock early on.
Out of play and off of Lander.
George Knight by far covered the most ground so far. We've seen him all over the pitch.
Remains in the match here as we go into the 30th minute. Ball sent to Knight, near side. He cuts it back into the center with some room to operate. Nice pass ahead to Sandy. Sandy fresh in off the bench, going to attempt a shot and deflected, and corner kick coming up for Lander.
A lot of pace was substituted in for the Bearcats, and already within 25 seconds causing the Tigers a little trouble.
Corner kick awarded to Lander.
So this will be Oliver Brock to take it. We've seen Jamie North send the first few corners in, and now Brock will take a crack at it. Body's hit the floor on the far side, and Lander's going to be called for the foul. There were 2 Bearcats, and it looked like 2 Tigers as well that hit the deck, and Lander whistled. Goal kick for West Alabama.
Robbie Young there shielding the keeper. I like it, as we saw him have a lot of chances to put his hand on the ball. Not there, but again, a penalty. And there was a good chance for Lander to break the deadlock.
Sandy tries to head it on. Young, you mentioned, responsible for the game-winning goal in the 12th minute at USC Aiken. Both teams just kind of jockeying for possession here, and now dangerous opportunity, but Withers comes up and takes it off the Ferguson header.
Lander's given up a goal very similar to that against Tusculum. Nice to see Withers take control of the ball.
I think that may have been Callum Ray, the grad student that made that dangerous run. Couldn't quite pick up the number. Thought I saw a 17. Hanger will send it across, and they want to go to Thibaut Chrétien. But he's called for offsides.
Missed time just a tiny bit there.
We've not called Chrétien's name much this evening, as he just entered the match moments ago. The sophomore for the Bearcats out of Laval, France, and the reigning conference freshman of the year, co-freshman of the year. Knight with the ball at his feet, into the center. Pass ahead, Young gets it back to Knight. He sends it left side, Chrétien. Chrétien going to send it in, headed away by West Alabama's defense, but Lander still got it for the moment as Ferguson will play it back into some space and poke it along the sideline. Chrétien again to the middle. Shot attempt on the way, wide right. Good,
Nice piece of play there.
good looking attempt by the Bearcats. Try to see who it was that took the shot attempt. I think it was Richard Bryan, we're being told. And they're continuing to put pressure on West Alabama offensively, but just not able to find the net yet.
Now Lander has taken advantage of this. Goal kick out of bounds. See if we can get some pace in this run here.
Hanger a deep throw. Headed high. Young trying to win it.
That's got to be a Lander win right here.
The ball sent ahead. Young fighting for it. Defensively shielded away by Wykers. And the ball to the feet of Knight. Knight going to send it in. Just off. Chrétien misses high. That's the 8th shot of the half by Lander. West Alabama has not attempted a shot yet in this match. 2 saves made by Salazar. Bearcats have had 3 corner kicks. The Tigers have attempted 2. Both teams have been called for offsides once. 6 fouls against Lander, 5 against West Alabama. 2 yellow cards already against the Tigers. Robertson and Brador picked up those in the earlier minutes. We are in the 35th minute here in Greenwood.
Game slightly opened up. More shots being taken, especially for the Bearcats.
Out of play, throw into West Alabama. It'll be Jared Walker, the freshman, to throw it in, and it's stolen away by Skelton and a long pass ahead, but nobody was there. Young was in the area. Ball was ushered back to the feet of Salazar. Down the middle, a bit of a run for the Tigers. Swerving into the center of the pitch. And Bolton's going to be whistled for a foul, and I didn't really see a whole lot there, to be honest with you. I'll say that he got in the way of Cole Webster, and I tell you what, Webster showed off some wheels there on that run. Their defense played it pretty well, and Bolton with a little bit of contact, but boy, I didn't think there was enough there to draw the whistle, but the official disagreed.
In the first 5 minutes of this game, that wasn't even considered a common foul.
Not at all. Now the Bearcats will set the wall up. Robertson, Brador setting up for the free kick, and it looks like it'll be Harrison Roberts. Attempt to strike this one with the right foot. 4-man wall for Lander with Sandy just to the left of it. Ball sent in, right through. Withers punched it away, and then the header's high and over the crossbar. So the first 2 shots of the night for West Alabama come within seconds of one another as Roberts' ball weaved right through the hole in the wall. Withers punched it away instead of trying to collect it, and then the ensuing header was far too high. So now George Knight will get a breather as we are in minute 37, and on comes Michael Leach, 5th-year senior striker out of Wigan, England. Out of play to Lander. The 2 teams on the campus currently ranked, both in action today. Of course, you've got the 10th ranked soccer club here in Greenwood, and up in Daniels, West Virginia, the 19th ranked men's golf team is in action at the NCAA Division II preview. 36 holes today for the Bearcats. They sat in a tie for 12th place after the first round of action. Bearcats came in third at the Jay Jennison Cup last week. It's their second tournament under the direction of new head coach Mark Riddle.
First interchange for the Tigers. Very interesting time. 7 minutes left to go in the first half.
West Alabama brings on Rakeem Ali.
Going into the West Alabama Tigers, number 10, Kane O'Neal.
Check it, that's
Elias Settle, number 12, Liam Condon.
Kane O'Neal, junior from Lochwinnock, Scotland. Liam Condon, I think, also in, sophomore from Hoover, Alabama. Ball down in the corner. Tigers come away with it. Leach had it for a moment, lost his footing. Came up a little gimpy there. All being played in the middle.
Very well defended.
Nice job by Lander to win it back here in minute 40. And now they want to get to Chrétien, but too far.
Those are just mistakes that can't be made. Very well defended, pushing them back all the way back to midfield, getting the ball and giving it right back again. Looks like they're going to have to defend kind of the same way they just did.
It's done by Bryan. Now Chrétien has it at his feet. Pushes it back to Bryan. And into the middle it goes to Sinclair Sandy. A nice turn. So he'll bring it back near side. 41st minute of play. Now Robbie Young had his pass intended for Sandy. Knocked away. Leach couldn't win it back. And the Tigers have possession as they send it near side. Hanger trying to cut off the run from O'Neal.
The goal before halftime, probably the most important goal, especially 0-0. You hate to be on the losing end of those. Momentum coming into the second half is crucial, especially in a game as intense as this one.
Bearcats had scored in the first half of each of their first five matches this year, but then Francis Marion and Queens both shut them out in the opening 45 minutes. Although they did get the 12th minute goal from Robbie Young, their only goal of the win against USC Aiken just 2 nights ago. And that's another aspect of this match that I'm keeping in mind. Now, this West Alabama team was last in action on Thursday night at home against Florida National in a 1-0 defeat. Lander is playing their third match in 6 days at Queens on Wednesday, at USC Aiken less than 48 hours ago, and now here tonight against the Tigers. And none of those matches have been.
That could result in a yellow card, kicking the ball out of frustration.
The clock stopped at 2:46. If it is, it's the third card of the evening against West Alabama, but it doesn't look like we'll get one. We mentioned this stretch of play here recently. Bearcats went on the road to face a Queens team that was 5-1 on the year. It was a very good club that they battled scorelessly for 110 minutes in Charlotte. Then this West Alabama team, a reigning NCAA tournament appearance. That ball sent into the middle and a foul. The clock will stop at 2:41. I'll get a card on Jordan Skelton, I believe.
Yellow card assessed to Lander. Card number 4, Jordan Skelton.
Lander, costly penalties, and they had great chances to score.
Well, both teams tonight, how many times have we seen them with set pieces, balls going into the box and then negated and never really got shot attempts off because the offense committed fouls? Side header won by the Tigers, and they flick it on ahead, but Bryan is there to boot it off a attacker and out of play. 2.5 minutes remaining in the first period, and the Bearcats scoreless here against West Alabama. The throw in on the far side, knocked out of play. Lander with the ball in minute 44.
Less than 2 minutes in the first half. Need to make something happen.
Leach calling for the ball near side. So that ball ricochets off of Roberts and headed out of play again. Under 90 seconds to go in the first period. Lander just sort of matriculating their way down the pitch. Shipped into the middle. Pass ahead. Bearcats try to win it. West Alabama regains possession.
West Alabama had 9 players behind the ball.
1 minute.
Long pass ahead, really no chance to get anything going, and now Hanger ahead to Young. Young nearly had his feet taken out and then lost his footing as the ball stays in bounds. The Tigers come out with it. Brador is the only West Alabama player on the attacking side of midfield.
That's a Lander throw.
Out of play to the Bearcats, 35 seconds to go in the half. Ahead it goes to Young. Young loses his footing again, and the ball taken away by the Tigers. Into the center, Brador wanted it. Instead, Ferguson came up to take it. 20 seconds left in the period. Hanger gonna cross it to Chrétien. Great ball. Chrétien got to try to keep it in possession, though.
10, 9,
out of play.
8, 7, 6.
A throw into Lander.
4, 3.
Shot
2,
attempt on the
1.
way. Hanger with the goal.
They're waving it off.
I think they're going to wave it off. You're right. It was right at the buzzer, and now the officials are going to go and talk about it. No goal. No goal. They'll wave it off. And as we look at it here on our replay, and of course our clock is not official. But on this one, that looked like that ball was in the net. Oh my goodness. Excitement at the end of the first period. We remain scoreless here at Van Taylor Stadium. Second half coming up when we return to Greenwood. You're listening to Bearcat Soccer on the Bearcat Broadcasting Network. Back in Greenwood, South Carolina, Van Taylor Stadium, Rickson Lane and Graham Simpson joining you on the Bearcat Broadcasting Network. Scoreless as we enter the second period of play between Lander and West Alabama. Good to have you join us this evening. Non-conference action between the Bearcats and the Tigers. Some first half stats for you as we open up the second period. Lander with a 9-2 advantage in shots in that first half. 3 shots on goal by the Bearcats, just 1 for the Tigers. 3 saves made by Austin Salazar for West Alabama. 1 save for Jacob Withers. Both teams called for offsides. Fouls were even at 7 apiece. There were 3 yellow cards in the first period, 2 against West Alabama and 1 against Lander, and that really big call at the end of the first half on Oakley Hanger's last-second shot attempt. Officials did come up to the press box during halftime and take a look back at it, and it is clear on the replay that the clock had expired before Hanger got the shot off. Of course, it's not like basketball. It's not a matter of when you get the shot off. It's where the ball is when the buzzer goes off, and so the shot was very clearly not or should not have been allowed, and it was not allowed, and that's how we sit at 0-0. Bearcats weren't happy with the call, but when you have the benefit of going back and watching it and frame by frame as we could here on the broadcast at halftime, it was the correct call, even though it does take a goal potentially off the board for Lander. As Ferguson takes the ball in the back end and sends it up ahead, Sandy had it for a moment and then sandwiched away by the Tigers. Now Ferguson comes up and wins it right back.
Both teams running a 4-3-3 formation. Looks like West Alabama more of a 4-2-1-2 almost. Diamond in the middle.
Ball put ahead. Robbie Young, who did not start the match for Lander, he's at the top of the formation here to open up the second half of action. Bryce Baye got the start for the Bearcats. And the shot attempts for Lander, 3 from Richard Bryan, including 2 on-target efforts. Jamie North had a shot attempt on target as well. Oakley Hanger attempted 2. Sinclair Sandy 1, and George Knight 1 as well. "48th minute of play here in Greenwood. Lander and West Alabama.
Talking to Coach Evans during halftime, he said that they were a little hesitant with the ball right in the center of the pitch, but they did like to get the ball over the top into the wings. And as we saw, West Alabama had a little bit of trouble with the pace of the Bearcat players.
The Bearcats also appeared to be a little more comfortable with their depth, as we saw in the first half. At one point, Lander substituted 4 players in at once. West Alabama was far less willing to make those wholesale substitutions, as Tigers win the header there. This is Bryan on the near side. Bryan wants to run, pokes it ahead to Sandy, right back to him. Nice little give and go there. Bryan in the center. He's already attempted 3 shots, but he'll push it wide to Knight. Knight's got some space to manipulate the ball, and he gives it back to Bryan. Bryan hesitates, now turns back left side, chipping it on to Young. Young back into the center, and the offsides flag goes up. Lander's attack kind of petered out there at the end, but the flag would negate any shot attempt from Sinclair Sandy, as Robbie Young called for being offsides.
That's happened a couple times now. Every time there's a chance, has to be very clean.
'50th minute of action here in Greenwood. Scoreless between Lander and West Alabama. Rickson Lane and Graham Simpson with you on the Bearcat Broadcasting Network. Pass ahead, they're trying to get it to Young. And out of play to the Tigers. This match, from a perspective of streaks for the Bearcats, you feel like it kind of plays into their advantage. Lander has not allowed a goal now in over 5 matches. Meanwhile, West Alabama has not scored a goal since September 21st against Union University. Gulf South Conference clash. The Tigers haven't had many opportunities in the first period. Now a little more aggressive here in the second period as that one headed too strong. And on to Salazar, who wings it out to Condon real quickly.
And one thing Coach Squire said, they are dangerous on the set piece, so something to look out for. As we saw, a very nice, well-taken free kick, eventually blocked out by the Lander keeper. But there's keep-away penalties where they have a chance to score a goal, which should be a crucial point for the Bearcats, especially looking into the last 20 minutes of the game. They really need to dominate that, especially if it's deadlocked at 0-0.
Ball deflected to the center. Sandy shields it away. Young tried to heel it to him. Sandy trying to fight off 2 defenders to keep it, and he cannot. Now here come the Tigers in transition. Nice little through ball effort. Lander collapses defensively. Bryan gets it to Ferguson, who heads it away. Now Sandy wants to turn and go the other way, and does. Knight shields his defender off. And a cross-pitch pass to Bryan. Now here comes North. Hadn't had the ball at his feet often in this match. Wants to make something happen. Working on the outside of that left foot. North bumped away. Offsides infraction against Robbie Young. Second call against him in this half.
Early on, noticing a lot quicker passes in the middle of the pitch for the Bearcats.
Into the center, Brock, a nice tackle. And now Knight out on the wing. Knight wants to run. Bringing the ball along with him, stops, and looks to the center. And wants to make another move out to the side, reverses direction again.
Got to get the ball into the box.
Hanger hesitates, pokes it with the left foot. Young behind him to North. North will have the shot deflected and throw into Lander. Took a while to get it going there, but Bearcats do work themselves into a nice offensive opportunity. Ferguson ahead to Bryan, and then Bryan tackled from behind, but no whistle. That was a dangerous effort defensively there from the Tigers.
To me, that looked pretty clear, pushing the back. Of course, the referee has a better view than we do.
It didn't look like much of a play on the ball, though. I do agree with you there. As trying to go with that right foot was Kieran Mall. Didn't really, on the second look, he didn't make a ton of contact with Bryan above the waist, but he did crash into him from behind. Bryan has back turned. The official says play on. And we will here in the 55th minute. Bryan the throw-in, looking for somebody. He's got openings in the center of the pitch and leads it ahead to Young rather nicely.
And that's one of those fouls that might be called in the center of the pitch, but in the 18, very hesitant the referee is to call that.
The official knows what one call could do here as North went up for the header, and now we're going to get a whistle. Jamie North, an attempt at the ball as Salazar came after it. No card will be issued. It's a good sign for the Bearcats, as that's a play that if you get a referee with the wrong temperament, that can be the end of the night for Jamie North.
The reason there was no card, that referee did see there was 100% a play on the ball there.
North just jumped a hair late there, and of course Salazar's got a height advantage on him as well, which didn't help Jamie's cause. Bryan weaves around a tackle effort, stops beyond the top of the box, has it deflected high, race forward near side on North, a nice slide, and a whistle on a foul against North. Jamie doesn't love that call either.
I think it was a high boot there.
That's what they've got to call. He made no contact with anybody. If not that, I don't know what the infraction was. The Bearcats will get it back now on the throw-in far side. 57th minute. Scoreless here in Greenwood.
That was interesting. It looked like Berdor was already leaping when the attempted tackle was made.
Second look, yeah, it didn't really look like much of anything, to be honest with you. Now Withers dangerous. Oh, the Bearcats avoid an absolute catastrophe on the back end. And now we've got a foul. Oh, my goodness.
They've had trouble there all season long.
Shades of that Alabama-Huntsville game where Lander conceded a goal on a miscommunication on the back end. And you know, we've talked about the stellar play of Bonfim and Withers, but you put freshmen between the pipes in big situations and stuff like that might pop up every now and then, and Lander averts disaster there. Withers played it off his knee with a charging forward coming at him, and it deflected in the Bearcats' favor as Knight heads to the center. Sandy thought he had it. The Tigers able to win it away. And then Knight's going to be whistled for a foul. We roll into the 59th minute here in Greenwood. Scoreless between West Alabama and 10th ranked Lander. Long ball ahead, but nobody near it. And West Alabama really, Graham, doesn't look that anxious to send a bunch of people forward and risk leaving themselves vulnerable to a counterattack. It seemed to be the mindset if they can get a run offensively, great, but they're not going to really try to force the issue.
Yeah, they're trying to play themselves into this half.
Nice pass ahead to North, but he was sandwiched between defenders.
You're right, it's a very conservative approach.
Just an interesting effort from the Tigers, because you've seen at times teams come into Greenwood and from a record standpoint, and you can tell in the early going that, you know, the advantages that Lander does have, but this is not a bad Tiger team, and this is a very athletic club, and they've shown that. The offensive opportunities haven't really presented themselves, but they are playing a very good defense. It's a program that's accustomed to playing in some big matches and not faulting them for this strategy, just not exactly what I thought we'd see here. But now the Tigers have an opportunity on a throw-in far side here in minute 60.
And a good defense forces you to play a style you do not want to. So it's a little bit of both there.
Skelton wins that header. Pass inside, taken away. Oh, and now Hanger wants to make a run. He weaves all the way out from beyond the box to near midfield. Ball goes to Brock. Haven't called his name much today. Sandy now in the middle. Over to Brian. Brian brings it along with his outside. Now into the center. It's taken by Young. 9 red jerseys kind of clustered there in the top of the box. Almost a wall type of defense they set up, and now Lander tries to spread them out as they cross it to Sinclair Sandy. Sandy to Brian. Brian had it knocked away. Tiger defense holds, and now here they come on the offensive end. Bolton trying to run down Roberts. There is speed and athleticism at the top for West Alabama. We've seen it from Roberts and also from Cole Webster. '61st minute throw in coming for West Alabama.
Coming in for West Alabama, number 25, Cole Webster. Coming in for Lander, number 11, Michael Leach.
The aforementioned Webster comes back in the match for the Tigers. The Bearcats will counter with a couple of offensive cogs with Michael Leach and Thibaut Chrétien.
It's getting very physical inside the 18. Don't be surprised if there is a PK given to either squad.
Sandy trying to fight for it, leaps over defender, and now has some room to work. Chrétien and Bolton in pursuit. And then a tackle made.
That's got to be a play on.
I think that's what Sandy was trying to say.
Lander still had control of the ball.
Sandy had a lot of grass in front of him.
That's.
And you're right, they're upset because when Sandy was tackled, that ball went right to the feet of Jamie North, and he had, I think, Michael Leach in front of him in a seam there in the defense, and Lander says if that play continues, Leach might be attempting a shot.
That's very unfortunate for the Bearcats.
So now the Bearcats have to settle for a set piece from beyond the box.
Skelton better watch out. He's already on a yellow.
Bearcat captain, you can't afford to lose him, especially in a scoreless match. They got Chrétien split way wide to the near sideline. And it looks like North and Brock going to set up and take the free kick here. So it'll be Brock to take it. Sends it to the right. Ball crossed well over the head of everybody. Not much of an effort there from Lander. So after all that, West Alabama's defense not really challenged. All set for the goal kick. Not sure if that was Hanger or Leach. They got the ball on the far side. I think it was Hanger, actually. Minute 64 here in Greenwood, and we are scoreless between the Bearcats and the Tigers. Whistle against West Alabama. Ball back to Lander. Brian. Send it back into the middle.
Gotta make something happen here. Make the goalkeeper work.
Shot on the way, headed in, and there's the goal. Oh, the Bearcats finally will strike in the 65th minute Lander on the board. They had been trying and trying to crack this defense of West Alabama, and they finally got something going. Thibaut Chrétien racing in for the header.
The aggressiveness of Salazar there. He tries to go out for it.
And the
not
left,
covering the back post.
You're right, it was wide open. Trying to see who the assist went to. Oakley Hanger. I'm going to say Jamie North to be credited with the assist for the Bearcats. For Thibaut Chrétien, the sophomore out of Laval, France, he puts the Bearcats on the board. And good to see him picking up his first goal of the season.
In for West Alabama, the 13, Kyle McLeod.
Lander on the board.
That Lander goal was assisted by number 8, Jamie North.
I just had that feeling that Bearcats needed something badly. Just, you know, feel like their defense was getting a little too comfortable, and that they were.
Well, you talk about a big moment there. Lander's defenders have made a lot of those long cross-pitch passes, and that time it was North, stretched it all the way from the far sideline to the near post. And as you mentioned, Salazar, the senior, in just his third career start, he's been very aggressive. He's been very willing to go out and attack the ball, and that time he mistimed it, and the near post was exposed, and there was nothing that Liam Condon could do to keep Chrétien from racing in for the header. And then you see Withers come racing way out from the goal there. Now let's see if Lander adjusts its mindset in here. Chrétien, nice through ball there to Leach. Leach back to Chrétien. Chrétien whips some space, moves to the left side. Chrétien shot blocked, and it rolls over the end line. Well, they'll say goal kick. Well, I thought that the Tigers deflected that. They'll say no over the end line. And a goal kick for Salazar and West Alabama.
Lander controlling the pace now. Lots of space in the middle. Down to Thibaut.
Chrétien again with the ball at his feet. Into the center, turns the corner, lost his footing. Shot attempt on the way, punched out by Salazar.
Still in play.
Bryan cannot save it, but corner kick on the way for the Bearcats.
Corner kick awarded to Lander.
69th minute, Lander leading 1-0. Deep cross. And another corner as it was deflected out by the Tiger defense.
Be interesting to see what Salazar
Corner kick
does
awarded
here.
to Lander.
Because if he is going to play conservative, it is time for Skelton Navy to get ahead on it.
It's been his aggression that has prevented Lander from striking on these corner kicks, but after he got burned on the last time, see what he does. That ball was kind of in the middle of nowhere, and a nice leaping effort. That ball plucked out of midair by Brock on the shot attempt. Deflected by a Tiger defender and over the inline. Third straight corner kick for the Bearcats as we enter the 70th minute. Right side header into Salazar's hands.
Salazar much more conservative last two corner kicks.
Bearcats unable to take advantage.
Dangerous ball in.
Out of the box, and Chrétien chase it down near side.
Pass just a little late there. Back to Chrétien.
Now Chrétien just wanted to run again. Near side, he'll take it. Cross it.
It's a dangerous area.
Tigers able to get it away, however. '72nd minute here at Van Taylor Stadium. Rickson Lane and Graham Simpson with you on the Bearcat Broadcasting Network. Lander with a 1-0 lead over West Alabama. Difference thus far in this one, a goal, Thibaut Chrétien in the 65th minute. Salazar can't get his hand on that one, and it's over the end line and another corner coming up.
Very similar to the first goal.
Corner kick, Lander.
The Cats with another chance. Ferguson was there, but the Tigers got a piece of it first. Ferguson still trying to win it. Brought down in the box. And nothing called. And another corner kick for Lander. They've had now 5 in about the last 3 minutes.
Corner kick, Lander.
We'll have substitutions now. David Nascimento and Paul Florian-Afang into the ball game for West Alabama.
18, Paul Florian-Afang Coming for Lander, number 16, Robbie Young.
Robbie Young into the match for the Bearcats as that ball in another good spot for Lander, but they're unable to take advantage. And now out comes Webster with it, and he's got some speed, and you see it down the near sideline. All crossed in, but way too far ahead of his teammates. Well, Webster's going to want to have that one back. Here in minute 75, we remain 1-0 Lander. Clock will stop here in the 76th minute. Foul against the Bearcats. Doesn't look like a booking.
Skelton. Look like his eye there, or nose, can't tell.
Hard to tell at this time of day as sun's setting across behind those trees and just kind of creates a glare here on the press box and hard to see things from across the pitch. Withers will come up to take the free kick for Lander again in the 76th minute. Bearcats lead by a goal. Foul. This one will go against Lander. Long ball ahead. Withers will stay back as Skelton attempts the tackle, and we've got whistles.
Surprised the clock hasn't stopped.
Skelton made the tackle and immediately threw his hands up. But it would not matter. So neither club happy. Skelton and the Bearcats don't like the call. West Alabama thinks there should have been a card. Skelton's already been tagged with a yellow tonight. So one more and he's gone.
That'd be a crucial blow to the Bearcats.
Playing a man down in a one-goal game, never ideal, and especially not if you lose your captain and top defender. Instead, it's a free kick near side for Harrison Roberts.
Very good set-piece team, the Tigers are.
Roberts will chip it in, far side, headed away by Lander. They're not out of the woods yet, though. Another ball sent, this one to the near side of the box. Cretien's there, and he'll get rid of it.
There's another whistle.
Another foul, and looks like this one's on the Tigers. Now the clock will stop at 11:59 remaining. George Knight checking back in the match for the Bearcats as Kyle Ferguson has a long discussion with the official.
Lander needs to keep the possession. for the good part of 10 minutes now. They can't accept the fact that West Alabama is going to try and control the tempo. Lander have to counter that, which means very good passing, can't be hesitant with the ball, and one mistake can be very costly because they are looking to counterattack.
So it'll be Withers who will take the kick for the Bearcats. So we begin the 79th minute in a 1-0 contest. Thibaut Chrétien, the goal at the 64-45 mark. Sandy brought down in the middle, we play on. Here come the Tigers back the other way. They'll send it far side. Ball deflected and won by Lander. Pass ahead intended for Robbie Young. Out of bounds throw in West Alabama.
Coming from Bearcats number 34, Oakley Hager.
Now we'll have another whistle in the middle of the pitch. West Alabama going to be called for a foul.
Just a late tackle there. Nothing major.
We move into the 80th minute here at Van Taylor Stadium. Bearcats lead 1-0.
Tons of space in the middle.
Oliver Brock trying to turn and go that way, but he's being hassled and gets rid of the ball back to the far sideline, and the pass deflected and intercepted by West Alabama. Throw into the Tigers.
Very urgent.
Under 10.5 minutes to play in regulation, West Alabama trails by a goal.
Looks like the Tigers picked up a practice ball. Tried to play with it.
Coach Lander's certainly not in any hurry to try to get the ball back in play here. And now it's Knight who's down. He'll get up slowly at midfield. Looks like the foul was issued against West Alabama.
It was a late call because he was waiting to see if there was going to play on advantage, especially in this part of the game.
Now Knight into the box, intended for Young, but knocked away. Another ball entered in and sent back by the Tigers. Brock with a nice sliding stop there. And Lander's got possession back. Now here comes Knight. Pass to Chrétien near side. Chrétien hesitates, pokes it to Brock. Brock, left side Bryan. Bryan into the center. Knight is there, lost his footing. Ball pokes free, wide side of the box, and West Alabama clears it out of danger, but Lander's got it back as Hanger's entry pass deflected.
This is good by the Bearcats. Controlling the tempo.
Bryan crosses his man.
Lovely piece of skill.
Chips it in, but too high. And then West Alabama clears it.
Needs to be a Lander win.
Knocked out off the head of Ferguson. Berdor scrambles for it near side. 82nd minute. Lander leading 1-0. Far side, now ball into the middle. Berdor sends it on.
It's a dangerous area.
Tigers get it back. Chrétien races back to try to defend. Near side into the corner, it's Webster. Webster manned up against Bryan. A long pass out. Back to midfield, taken by Afang.
He's got plenty of space.
Chip ball back in the middle, shot on the way. Withers got it. Second effort. Withers got it again. 2 big-time saves by the freshman. But the Tigers still with the ball on the far side. Knight tried to win it back for it, but couldn't. Entry pass on the way.
That's too much space there.
Lander trying to clear it away, and they do. But West Alabama still with possession. 83rd minute now. A couple of big saves made by Withers, but West Alabama still in the attacking third. And now whistles. Now Bredor and Ferguson had words for each other. Into the 84th minute we go. And now Skelton went racing over to the near side official. There's some extracurricular, it appeared, down around the box. Now more shenanigans around the 18.
We're going to see cards here.
Now the other official come in and get involved. Didn't quite see what happened. Try to take a look back here. And looks like a Fang was being held back by some of his teammates. I think that Paul Florian of Fang has been issued a yellow card.
Yellow card assessed to West Alabama, number 18, Paul Florian of Fang.
Yeah, Fang came over and put both his hands on Ferguson as Bredor came up towards him.
And not only that, he repeatedly did it. Ferguson squatting down.
Ferguson just kind of sat down and tried to back away, and then Fang was still down in his face and tried to offer him help up, and then smacked him in the head.
That's a red card defense.
He tried to offer Ferguson a hand up after jawing at him, and then Ferguson turned his back to him, and a Fang reached out and slapped him.
Coming in from the Bearcats, number 5,
Matthew Ridley will come in to shore up the back line. And so as a Fang, I believe, has been issued a yellow. Yeah, Robbie Young also reached out and gave a Fang a shove, but that was in retaliation for a Fang making contact with Ferguson's head. So the proceedings have ground to a halt here in Greenwood. 1-0, 84th minute. Things have gotten very interesting. After all this, it appears we're still going to have a West Alabama free kick.
Which is also interesting.
Tigers send it in. Bearcats in the area. They win it. Chrétien's going to turn it and try to get it out of danger. But it's won back by West Alabama. Pass ahead, clip to Webster. And Ridley connects and pushes it off of Webster's head, but deflected back. West Alabama still got possession. They continue to win the ball back here. And then a foul, and the clock will stop. And a yellow card's been issued. Not sure.
Yellow card assessed to Lander, number 34, Oakley Hanger.
Oakley Hanger called for the yellow. High drama here in Greenwood in the closing minutes in a 1-0 match. Another ball in. Withers punches it away.
That's got to be a whistle. Thank you.
And it finally comes as Withers and a Tiger are both down. Nothing malicious it didn't look like in the contact. Just two guys going and trying to make a play on the ball. But you're right, they both went to the pitch and had a halt play at that point.
Anytime there's head injuries, whistle needs to be there.
I think that was a Fang who collided with Withers. It was. Paul Florian, a Fang, and Jacob Withers both down in front of the net. We'll step aside while the players are tended to. 85th minute of action. Lander leading West Alabama 1-0 at home. You're listening to Bearcat Soccer on the Bearcat Broadcasting Network. So we return to action here at Van Taylor Stadium. Rickson Lane, Graham Simpson with you on the Bearcat Broadcasting Network. Jacob Withers up, and he's going to remain in the contest for Lander, the goalie who was shaken up on his collision on that entry into the box with Paul Florian a Fang. And now Lander desperate to try to get the ball away from their own goal, and now they do, as Chrétien sends it in, but right to the hands of Salazar. Lander might have wanted to hold that ball a little bit longer. 85th minute, Bryce Baye into the ball game.
Still a lot of time left.
Lander 5.5 minutes to go, the 1-0 lead. And now Chrétien wants to try to pad that advantage. Chrétien into the box. Ball over the end line and goal kick. Late call. $1-0 Bearcat lead as the clock ticks into minute 86. Tigers have really put pressure on Lander's defense here in the last few minutes. A lot of attempts and a lot of balls in dangerous areas. Lander's answered the bell, however. Young trying to advance and make a play on the ball. That one lofted high. Chrétien at his feet. Webster with the header. Headed back. Chrétien wins it for the moment. And then sent away. That was Jamadar, it appeared. They got his foot on it to push it free. Chrétien deflects that one. Wakers will send it to the far side.
If you're West Alabama, you need to get the ball inside the Lander half of the pitch.
Yeah, that stretch of about 3 minutes just moments ago where they dominated possession, and that's a great job by Chrétien to win it back. And now whistle again.
Going to Bearcats, number 8, Jamie North.
Jamie North will check in for Lander.
Coming in for the Bearcats, number 26, Bryce Baye.
Bryce Baye also. As Brian's going to throw it in. Chrétien just one-on-one with Callum Rye and wins the ball back for Lander. That's a great job.
12, Liam Condone.
Condone back in the match for the Tigers. Interesting, West Alabama will bring a defender in here. Bryan will throw in. He sends it down the far side. Ridley in the corner. Out of play. Bearcats will have it. Another throw in from Bryan to Ridley, posting up inside the box. Tigers poke it away. And then kick it out of play. Ferguson will let it roll, and Skelton will come get it. Another throw in for Bryan. As he searches for a jersey. We move into the 88th minute of a 1-0 contest. Knight with the ball, far side, into the center, lost it, and the Tigers come out with it. Here comes West Alabama back the other way in a 1-0 contest. Lander with a goal from Chrétien in the 65th minute. That's been the difference thus far.
No call.
Continue to play on.
And a nice long ball.
And whistles again.
Clock cannot stop for a throw-in.
Continue. The ball rolled into the Tigers. Minute 89 now. Baye with it. Up ahead, North. North, get down into the corner. Tries to shield the ball away. Here comes pressure. Got it through the legs of a defender. West Alabama comes back out with possession. 90 seconds to go in this one. Berdor heads it ahead. Ferguson, the touch. Back to the center. Taken by Zayed for West Alabama.
Bearcats need to be very smart with their passes.
Salazar urging his troops ahead. Fight for the ball back in midfield. West Alabama chased back to their own half of the pitch. As we enter the 90th minute.
1 minute remaining in regulation.
Ball one in the middle by Ridley. And a long pass ahead intended for North. Can he win the foot race? No. The Tigers get it back. Ridley tried to get it to him down in the corner, but the pass was too strong. Now a long ball ahead. Webster got a piece of it, but nobody's there. And Ferguson will send it to the tennis complex. 35 seconds to play. And the clock will stop. 34 seconds remaining in regulation. West Alabama will set for the throw-in. It looks like it'll be taken by Harrison Roberts. Roberts will take the throw-in. Bearcats and their defenders trying to look for men. Bryan wins it back, deflected off of Roberts' throw-in Lander with 25 seconds to go. And the Bearcats are in no hurry to get to it. Bryan wins the ball, deflects it off of Roberts with his kick. And now Bryan just going to try to launch it near side. Ridley tackled from behind as the clock will tick down, and Lander will hang on for a 1-0 victory over West Alabama out of the South region. The Bearcats, a hard-fought win here at home, and Lander stays unbeaten on the year. They're 8-0-1 as they return to Greenwood and pick up a tough victory over a scrappy club from West Alabama. We'll step aside. We'll come back. Conversation with our man of the match, Lander, victorious over the Tigers 1-0. You're listening to Bearcat Soccer on the Bearcat Broadcasting Network. Back at Van Taylor Stadium, Greenwood, South Carolina, Lander stays unbeaten, 1-0 win over South Region opponent West Alabama. And we're joined now by our 3 men of the match, and we'll start with Tebow Chretien. And Tebow, early in the season, you didn't get to be on the field. You were dealing with some injuries. Take us through that goal in the 65th minute, just how it felt to get back and get a goal for your team in such a big game.
We feel very good because, like, since the beginning of the season, I haven't scored, and I'm happy to score tonight, and yeah, I'm happy.
And Tyler Bolton, the midfielder for the Bearcats, anchoring this Lander club again. Tyler, in a game like this, when you guys are playing your 3rd game in 6 days, what does it take for this team to be able to come out and get 3 points, 3 big points like you did tonight?
Yeah, it's very difficult physically, obviously, playing the 2 games in 3 games, but it's all about, we know we've got the players. Obviously, Thibault's coming back in. We've been needing him back in there, scoring his goals. And at the end of the day, it's all about determination. Sometimes the talent isn't what it takes. Sometimes you need to dig deep for each other.
And we'll bring in Kyle Ferguson, a Conference Defender of the Week. And Kyle, now 6 straight shutouts for this Bearcat defense. What has allowed you guys to be able to put up zeros over and over against some quality opponents?
Well, we've got a very good back 4, and I think everybody's trusting each other. And now we've got the Jacobs come in as a goalkeeper, and I think that's 2 or 3 games in a row he's kept a clean sheet. So it's brilliant. When everyone's got that much trust and everybody wants to fight with each other, it's easy. It's easy. We've all got like this unity as a full team. Like you can see it, everybody wants to work hard for each other, and that's why we're winning. That's why we're unbeaten so far. So
Bearcats victorious 1-0. We'll get them out of here. Last time we interviewed someone on their birthday, we had a little water incident. It's Tyler's birthday, so we'll get y'all out of here. 1-0 victorious. Thanks for joining us, guys. Lander wins, and we got a big one coming Saturday night as the Young Harris Mountain Lions roll into Greenwood. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Your final score, 1-0 Lander over West Alabama. Have a blessed evening, everybody, and we'll talk to you Saturday night.